Oh, hello, and welcome to episode 120 of Schnozzcast on Friday, April 9th, 2021. This is Bob. I'm joined by my excellent companions, Nick Bader, Cory Slesky, Ms. Danielle Finn, and Mr. Todd Dillon. So welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. If you are new, please come back and visit us every week at this time. If you have been here before but are seeing us on Facebook Live but have never listened to the audio version, you can find us out on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon Music, Pandora, or anywhere else where you feel like you want to go to get your podcasts. You can also find us on social media, on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, all at Schnozzcast. On the email end, if listening is in your bag and you want to give us some feedback, you can email us at schnozzcast@gmail.com, or you can call or text us at 618-SHOCKER.
That's right. That's right.
I was waiting for you to say, like, oh, we got a text.
Every now and then we do. I usually check it a little bit before the podcast and not during the week. I'm not going to walk around like a drug dealer with two phones. But yeah, no, not this week.
Only drug dealers have two phones?
Yeah.
Is that how that works?
For someone that's cheating on their wife.
What if you're cheating on your wife and dealing drugs? Is that 4 phones?
Probably.
I think that would only be 3.
3? We got to have a burner for both situations. Is your burner the same for both then? What if you burn one and then you're like, oh, I'm late for my drug deal?
So your regular phone,
yeah,
your drug dealer phone,
yeah,
and you're cheating on your wife phone. Why would you need 4?
What happens if something goes awry, either at the rendezvous or at the drug deal?
So that would mean if you were a drug dealer, you would need 3, not 2.
Cory, you know more about this than I thought that you should.
Didn't you have several phones at one time?
No, I've never had 2.
Cory. Reaches up into the rafters.
Silent. Put that on
It's
silent.
a loose floorboard.
I only keep it at Nick's house.
He does keep things at my house that I find throughout the week.
Oh,
I
yes,
don't
he
doubt
does.
that.
Squirrel. He's like a little squirrel. He squirrels little things away. I found a blue Solo cup up with my nice cups in my cupboard.
Your nice Solo cups.
No.
Shitty Solo
The
cup.
fancy Solo cups.
my regular nice glass cups.
Gold-rimmed Solo cups.
And I'm like, I can only imagine in his brain it was like the nuts for winter mentality. Like,
I'm really sick of walking downstairs to get those Solo cups way in the basement, so I'm going to get 2. And I'm going to use one right now that I can throw away. And I'll put this one right here. I'll never see it.
it was like knocked over like on its side. And then I told him that he bought this stupid little funnel to fill his flask when he's here.
Oh, don't worry. We have them at home, too.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, man, you left your funnel last time.
Oh, that's my hair funnel.
I'm like, I'm sorry, your what? So he's
My
got
Nick's house funnel.
Yeah, he's got little Nick's house incense burners, little Nick's house.
But at least he's
funnels.
not asking you to buy them.
Well, that would be a fool's errand.
But hasn't he done that with like the incense stuff? Like if you could just buy one for here.
He
I would
said
have to
you
bring
need
mine.
one for the house.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you
no, I
should
don't
buy
need
one.
one. I have one.
That's too small.
I'm like, so the funnel, like he was like setting it up on top of the shelf I made, so like the sticky fireball was going on. I'm like, hey man, I rinsed that out. I would just put it on a piece of paper towel. So I went to go do laundry like a week ago, and it's in the laundry tubs. Like that would be filling up with dirty laundry water. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I washed it, put it on a piece of clean paper towel, put it by his thing. Guess what I found yesterday? In the laundry tubs. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to do laundry, and it's going to fill up with disgusting sock water, and then he's going to come and fill up his flask. So it's almost worth it.
That's fine by me.
I know. It's got paint and everything all over the sides of the tub. All right.
Todd Dillon, how are you, sir? Is he live? Is he muted?
No, he's not muted.
He's just quiet.
Just smiling ear to ear. That's all
Todd,
I see.
Being
you
reflective.
there, buddy?
I'm here. I've been here.
There you go.
There you go.
Thought you were just being
here.
introspective, buddy.
No. Happy
Okay,
Friday.
so no then. All right.
No introspection here.
All right. You are an open book.
Open.
What you see is what you get with Todd Dillon.
2 times.
I'm not sure if you didn't know. This is pretty interesting to me. If you've gotten your COVID vaccine, you can go to Krispy Kreme every week and get a free donut.
Every week, it's every day.
Sorry, every day. Well,
I'm just
you
saying.
could go every day,
Every
but
day.
you'd be dead after like 3 months.
I hate
They're trying to kill you some way.
I hate donuts.
Yeah, then there's no end date. It's just every day come in and get a free donut. Bring your vaccine card. I don't know if that's just Michigan or if it's
Every other fat state in the nation.
yeah.
I mean, seriously. Well, you're not going to die from COVID now, so we got to work on
Build that cholesterol up.
Yeah.
Exactly. Get your cholesterol high.
Nice and high.
I mean, you notice no one's like, "Hey, come show your COVID card, and we'll give you a free grilled chicken salad."
Yeah.
Like that would be
Or we'll
fantastic.
give
I'd
you
be
a free
like,
oil change.
that would be amazing.
Oil change.
Bob apparently needs his oil changed.
I do actually need that. That would be a very nice coupon to get.
I could use one of those right about now.
Or your local Lifetime Fitness saying like, "Oh, we'll take 50% off your membership if you get your COVID vaccine."
Any oil
you
change
go.
places out there that want free plugs from the Schnozzcast,
Yeah, hit us up.
all you got to, 618 Shocker.
618 Shocker.
All you got to do is give us free oil changes for life.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Just every day.
Yeah. It looks a little dark.
Nick, you were
Let's
in here
change it
just
again.
yesterday.
Let's change it again, okay? I've
I
got
want to
my
try
card. I'll
that
show you.
5W. That 5W30. I want to try that.
More W's. So let's jump into a little Schnozzcast mailbag. We got another email at schnozzcast@gmail.com. This is coming from Candy Kane, writing us again.
Again.
Who the?
She says, "Hey Schnoz crew, I very much enjoyed hearing your advice!" ! My boyfriend and I had a great conversation based and decided to wait until the 1 year mark to revisit moving in together. If you recall, a couple of weeks ago, we gave her advice and said you should probably hold off.
Right. And well, Danielle's not privy to the story yet, but
I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
apparently everyone else here thought that I was Candy Cane writing the email.
I still believe that very much.
Because this was when I,
Yeah,
because this was
Todd is
when,
still not convinced.
when I
I'm
was
not convinced.
when I was sick. And so, yeah, Todd's convinced that I mean, I don't know about Nick and Bob so much, but Todd is definitely convinced that I am Candy Cane and I wrote these emails.
Yeah. So apparently Cory wrote another one and continued in saying, "So thanks for helping me have the conversation. Candy needs to work on her grammar. My next question would be, how do I get him to move into my place rather than his?" So this can't be from Cory. I am close to my friends and family while he lives in a place with mostly single guys. Thanks in advance, Candy.
They share a place, okay? It's neither one person's over the others.
Well, it started as hers, but then became theirs.
That's right.
To be clear. But so Candy's got a different situation. She's got her own
Candy's-
place.
It's a setup.
It's a
It's a
setup.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
He should run away.
She's asking for advice.
Oh, he
Candy,
should run
listen.
away.
Tell your boyfriend to run.
If you are Candy's significant other, please text us at 618 Shocker. We've got some advice for you.
Yeah, really. Junior Mint.
Candy corn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
On
no,
Gumdrop
she's what appears to be an actual listener. So what would we tell Candy here? How would we advise her to get him to move into her place rather than his?
Yeah, it could just be someone that the old nom de plume of not wanting everybody to know what's going on in their life, everyone to know their business. So obviously they made that name up, but it could be real life advice.
Sure.
Or it could be Cory.
I think it's Cory. Candy cane.
So Todd, where is Cory's place then?
I have no idea. That's what's confusing the hell out of me. I know it's him.
So you're not.
But wait a minute.
Okay.
He had all the answers to the multiple phone scenarios too.
Yes, that's true.
Cory's mom.
Did you send the email? I'm trying. If you just leave me alone, I'm trying to ask what they're going to say. What do you think she thinks about moving? Mom.
All right. So legitimately, what is our advice here for Ms. Kane? How should
To
she go
convince
about?
the beau to move in with her.
Yeah, to her place rather than his.
I mean, we don't know any more history
I
on.
was like, I need more details.
Yeah.
Like, is it a house? Is it an apartment?
We don't know. We
Right.
don't know.
That's what I'm
What
saying.
difference does that make?
Candy, you could send in more
Because
details.
okay,
but
if she owns her own house, then he should move into her house if he is just renting an apartment. Because why would she sell her house to move into an apartment? That doesn't make sense.
Well, maybe she
Probably
doesn't own her house. Maybe she rents it.
Or if he lives at home.
well, let's assume all things are equal. So she could just take the aggressive "I'm the woman, this is what we're doing" stance.
Wow.
It's been done. It's worked
Run
before.
away. Run away.
Or B, she could enter into some sort of a logical discussion about, the pros and cons of living in each place,
Right.
and hope that she comes out on top, metaphorically speaking.
Yeah, I say pros and cons board.
Yeah.
Sit down conversation, put a board together. What's the benefits of moving in here? Is it closer to your work? Is it closer to my work?
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like she kind of has the ace in the hole with living closer to the family if he has no family around. I mean, I wouldn't pull that out first and say, well, my family's nearby and you don't have any family around. It's just, single guys or friends.
Right.
I would wait till the end of the conversation to say, well, hey, my family's much closer to me. And that might be the nail in the coffin.
Kicking
for
him while he's down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's solid advice. I also see that we don't have anybody in the room offering their own advice, which is really weird. Normally
No,
that
that's pretty
that
much
kind of
par
stuff
for the
happens.
course.
Is it really? Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm used to that.
All right. Well, Candy Cane, there you go. Let us know what you think. If you've got some more details to send in so we can kind of narrow this down.
Yeah. If you can get more anonymous details, that would be very, very helpful.
Yeah, Cory. More anonymous details.
You got it, Todd.
All right. How about we follow that with a little Funko This, Cory?
We can do that.
Funko this. Funko this.
I just love that
How many weeks?
Todd laughs the most of any.
How many weeks do you think are going to go by before he stops laughing at his own?
I don't know if it will stop.
No.
It's so stupid.
Wow. Well, it's not going to get any less stupid the more we play it. So,
And that's why I'm going to keep laughing at it.
yeah.
So this week's Funko This is a little homage to the Schnozzcast and a certain celebrity that we have during the interlude, the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh, yeah.
Were you just holding that in until once I said that?
Yeah.
At least he let you finish.
No, he did. I could just see the look on his face, though, that he was waiting for that.
He could have muted you halfway through and just been
True.
like, here we go.
Very true. So yeah, that's the Funko for this week.
All right. So what's the backstory for this? Is it just because have you always been a Macho Man fan?
He's actually mine. I purchased
Dun
him.
dun dun.
Oh, the plot thickens.
That
Which-
is
So you've always been a Macho Man fan? Really?
Yeah. My brother and I used to watch wrestling back in the early 90s, like Hulk Hogan and all those guys. And
Wow.
then he did all the Slim Jim commercials.
Yes, he did.
and I've come to find out on Easter, apparently Danielle's family are Slim Jim fanatics that
Yeah.
I just found out about.
Wait,
Wow.
Your family are Slim Jim fanatics.
Yes.
Explain.
My brothers and I. So it's always like a thing for Christmas and Easter where we get Slim Jims like in our stocking and then in our Easter baskets. And one year my mom forgot about it and my youngest brother, and I gave her a really hard time about forgetting them. So this year we got like the Sam's Club pack size. Like the pull tab and they open.
Yeah, like gas
they have at the
stations
store.
have at the counter.
Yeah.
That
Wow.
the bottom folds open
Yeah.
and you grab them out.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Wow.
Okay.
We like Slim Jims. And we've
I
started.
never knew this about you.
We started watching Young Rock on NBC, and Macho Man's one of the people that his dad was really good friends with and that Dwayne grew up with.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Do you feel the excitement every time you eat one?
No.
No.
When you snap into one?
No.
Just walks around the house.
Ooh, yeah.
Snap into a Slim Jim.
Feel the excitement.
Have you ever heard her do the Macho Man? Ooh, yeah.
No.
Are you sure?
No, her mom's in the room.
I was
so
going to say her
careful.
mom just commented, and I put the
Careful.
comment on the screen, so
Careful.
I'm not going to make that joke.
Whoa, girl. Whoa. Easy. Easy.
Okay.
There was this one time. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Fair enough.
Apparently, there's 120 Slim Jims in that pack.
Yes, there are.
Good
That's
Lord.
it?
They're the little ones.
Gotcha.
Hardly there.
So when she eats them, she just goes, ooh, and that's it. That's it.
Tiny Jims.
Wow. I don't think I've ever heard that mentioned before.
No.
Known you for a long time. Mm-hmm. Corey's also never mentioned it.
No. He just really found out how much of a
Fanatic.
as
Yeah.
his
Whoa.
words were.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what
Well,
to say.
Because we went to her mom's house on Easter, and her brother hid the Easter basket that her mom had made up for us. And when she brought it down, he like grabbed the box of his Slim Jims and held them up in the air, and he's like, "Look, she remembered them this year."
We gave her a lot of crap.
I was like, "Oh, I didn't know that was a staple of the holidays around
Was this
here."
the first
It
Easter
is.
you've spent with her family?
Well, yeah, that she spent with my family and I spent with hers.
Okay.
Because he's always at work. Because on Sunday.
Right? Okay.
So, yeah, was not aware of
Does,
the.
does Corey go over to the box?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just got to have 5 of them to make one.
I don't. Have you even eaten any of them?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I tape them together.
When he was drunk
Make-
and sweeping in the kitchen the
make
other
one.
night, I'm sure he was like, yeah.
Wasn't even a broomstick. It was one long Slim Jim.
I've made the broom head out of them too.
She'll never know.
Wow.
Dogs are chasing after me.
So I had an interesting thing happen on the way over here tonight. Jack was driving me, and we were coming down Cherry Hill to Telegraph, and there was a guy on a bicycle who was driving up to the intersection, and I'm like, man, he's coasting a lot. I'm like, I wonder if that's an electric bike. And as we got closer, I'm like, oh yeah, it's got all the familiar markings. But I'm like, oh, it's got
The familiar markings.
well, it was dark.
The
Tell
big
us about the
EMC
markings.
squared on the side of it.
No, there's no EMC square on the side of it.
Giant crank organ on the back. All the usual signs.
This is gonna get better. It's gonna get better. So I'm like, oh, at least he's got pedals on it. And Jack's like, well, yeah, pedals. Yeah. Well, I go, well, I would hope that, in case the battery dies, you'd be able to still pedal your way down the street. He's like a moped? I go, well, I mean, if you have a bike like that, you want the ability to be able to. He's like, yeah, like a moped. I go, yeah, I guess so. And at that point, it dawned on me for the first time in my entire life that moped means motorcycle with pedals.
Yeah.
Oh,
I did not know that.
I guess I never really thought about it.
I never did either.
Yeah.
And Jack was looking at me like, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh my god.
You're dumb, Dad.
He's like, how did you not? I go, I've never ridden one. I've never known anyone who rode one. I've
Right.
never seen one break down to the point where they'd have to pedal it.
I don't think I've ever noticed that there were pedals. I thought it was just like pegs.
And I'm like, by the way, I feel like in my head, it's always like a small like dirt bike motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. So I don't think it's got pedals on it. And it's also kind of like Kleenex, like it's like a brand name. There are other bikes, I feel like, that are either electric or whatever, have a motor, that are use the term moped to describe them, even though they're not mopeds. They may not have, like the European ones, the Velos, that are scooters. but
Vespa.
Vespas, that people still call them mopeds. It's kind of like Kleenex. It's just a brand name.
Right.
I thought it meant like motor and pedal.
That's what it probably does mean, exactly what it means. But I just never
Didn't
been alive,
put that together.
did not connect the dots. And
That's
he's
what
like,
sons are for.
Jesus Christ, Dad.
We just had Dionne Warwick here to sing it to you.
He was my friend that night.
Wow, wow, wow.
Hey, question, Bob.
I'm talking about that tonight. He's like, I hope you do, Dad.
I have a question. Did
Yes,
you
sir.
tell him the joke?
Which joke, sir?
The moped joke. There's only one moped joke.
I think based on the story I just told, odds are pretty good that I don't know that joke. So go ahead.
Well, I don't know if I'm telling the joke, but
Well, you have to now.
The gist of the joke is, why are boyfriends or fat boyfriends or girlfriends like a moped?
Go on.
They're both fun to ride till your friends see you.
Wow.
That's the one.
That's the only moped joke.
Digging down deep.
No, I never heard that one.
It's the only one. I didn't say it was a good one. I just said it's the only one.
We should have a breaking, a first time joke segment on the Schnozzcast. Breaking news.
It's a bad joke.
I wouldn't say it's bad, just one that I'd never heard. All right, so that's, and you know what? If I can't tell an embarrassing story in the podcast, what the fuck are we doing this for?
True.
Might as well. And with that, we've got a Schnozzcast shot sitting here. Todd, you got something?
I do.
What do you got?
I went old school today. I got a little Southern Comfort.
Yeah, that's my
Is that your
can't do anymore.
That's your Achilles heel?
Oh yeah.
It was mine back in the day too, but I haven't had it in so long.
I've never gone back to anything that was once a problem.
Todd looks like he's in the Oval Office.
He does have he's at the Resolute desk.
Yeah, seriously. Mr. President. Cheers.
Do you have a Diet Coke button on that desk, Todd? That'd be amazing. Well, Todd. Oh,
whoa.
Ooh. Yeah.
That'll get you
That's
going.
good stuff.
Forgot to grab my beer.
a little extra fire in that fireball. Why don't I keep the conversation with you, Todd, and we'll do a little 90-second sports.
Sweet.
And we see him heading in that direction. The 20. He's going for 40. And it's 90-second sports.
All right, sir. Cory's gone to grab a beer. He's just sat back down, so he's going to tee up a little bit of artwork. But in the meantime, Nick's going to pull the phone out and get the timer teed up.
I really need to find somewhere a 90-second sand dial. It would probably be very small.
You know what? Let's while it's going on, we've talked about this before.
I've looked it up. Yeah,
you have looked it up.
There's like orange ones, like for schools, like for K through 12 and stuff. Anyhow, 90-second sports.
Yep.
And Todd, I apologize. I loaded some of the new artwork. That was one I did not put on. I gotta
No worries.
put that one on Switcher.
All right, Todd, ready? 90-second sports starts now.
Sweet. I'll bet that everybody's thinking I'm going to talk about the Masters because it's Masters week out there.
It is.
And it is. But I'm going to defer. Although I'm going to talk a little bit about the Masters. Today, we saw an epic blow up. Siwoo Kim blew up on hole number 13 and busted his putter and ended up having to finish the round putting with his 3-wood. But I'm not going to talk about that. I want to talk about sticky balls today. We're talking about sticky balls.
Sticky balls?
Sticky balls.
All right.
Baseball is embarrassing itself once again because they are now randomly picking out balls from baseball games to have inspected to see if the pitchers are cheating by greasing up the balls before they throw them. And so there's a great YouTube video of Trevor Bauer kind of discussing why it's just kind of a broken thing. And Trevor and I are very much aligned in that at the end of the day, he actually reviews the rulings around what baseball is trying to do by outlawing these foreign substances on the ball. But really, the key is he's with me. He's like, you should just throw it out and allow everything to be put on the ball. And I'm like, let these guys roid up and let these guys put whatever they want on the ball. I want to see guys hitting balls into the next city. I want to see pitchers throwing so hard to actually injure the umpire when the catcher catches the ball. I am one for they should ban nothing in baseball. And damn it, if cricket players can hit a ball with a ridge
that was
on
90
it,
seconds
stop
sports.
the ground.
Good job, Todd.
Thank
I
you.
noticed you were talking faster this time.
Oh man.
Trying to take advantage of some
Trying
prime
to
real
take
estate. Huh?
advantage.
Hey, no one has told Todd how he can spend those 90 seconds.
And no one will.
Hey, Todd, just so you know, too, to relate to that story,
2-2.
2-2.
Danielle gives me 2 of those a day.
Sticky balls.
Oh God.
Or the checks.
Is that why you were laughing? Where you're like, oh,
was trying what the
I have
funny
such a
was. That
good
was so
joke teed up here.
funny.
I can't even.
I did.
Kill me.
You're an idiot.
I thought you meant like 2 wonderful moments of 90 seconds.
Yeah,
Did you see him over there? Or were you looking at the timer? He's like, oh God.
He was cracking
He
up.
could not contain himself.
He had to cover the microphone twice because he was laughing so hard at himself.
At himself.
Todd was
Sticky
like,
balls.
the second he was like, yeah, they're doing random ball checks. I was like, I got one.
Wow.
Wow. Yep. Go ahead, Todd.
Nope. I'm gonna keep those words inside.
Now I really want to know what they are.
So there's some here that's got that look
Sticky
actually pretty
balls.
cool, but it's like 3, 4, 5 minutes.
Ball checks.
No, you don't need that.
No.
It's way too long.
Yep. All right, we'll do a little bit of homework because I see what you're talking about. Like, yeah, you could get one of those.
Yeah, but, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure Lori's got one of those for the classroom. We need something a little more.
Lori might have one of those for you.
Oh no, don't need a whole one.
Just 1 grain of sand.
Yeah.
Boop. Oh, no, all right, there we go.
Done.
90-second sex starts
Bah.
now.
Bob,
Done.
I'm getting ready to turn it over. You better get ready.
Pants off.
Oh God. So I had another one, another story.
Just filled with stories today.
Today was a good day. I mean, once work was done, today was a good day. We're upstairs in the hallway, and Jack looks at he stops me in the hallway, and he looks at the end of the hallway, and there's a picture there. It's just of like some flowers. It's got like some gold leaf edges. It is exactly the kind of picture you'd have in your hallway if you were like a newlywed, just bought a house, and then like didn't touch it for the next 20 years. It's literally been sitting there on my wall. Like it's just like part of. It's like a switch plate cover for an outlet. Like I walk past it, I don't even see it anymore.
What part of your house?
Upstairs hallway.
Oh, the hallway.
Yep. And so he goes, "Hey, can we replace this picture?" I go, "Yeah. What do you want to replace it with?" He's like, "I want a picture of Rod Serling." First he said Rod Sterling, and I'm like, Rod Serling, like Twilight Zone Rod Serling? Yeah. I go, well, okay. Why? You could have a picture of anybody. Why would you want a picture of? Because it's cool.
First of all, let me just say, based off
Yeah.
just that response from Jack,
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what his own place is going to look like.
Yeah.
Really?
If that's the picture he wants to hang up in the hallway.
No, I told him I'm way ahead of you, buddy. I've always wanted to have pictures. Like
I've already got a printed picture of Rod Serling.
Rod Sterling, how did Jack?
Look what I
Come
got.
here, come here,
How
buddy.
did you know? I said I've wanted to hang pictures on the stairway for a while, just never actually sat down and take the time to figure out what it was. I said I've got a few things saved. Like I will replace that with something good. He's like,
What was
yeah,
in the picture?
And I it's just a picture of some flowers. It's just it's literally the most vanilla picture you could ever buy.
Yeah.
But I go, you could have, I'll replace it. Like, no, but this one, I think it should be Rod Serling. So I'm like, show me the picture. Show me what you want to talk about. So he Googles Rod Serling and he pulls up a picture of Rod Serling like sitting on the floor with a cigar, and he's got like all of his Emmys for the Twilight Zone behind him. And he's like, I want something like this, like in the moment. I'm like, what do you mean by in the moment? You mean from the show? Because when he's on Twilight Zone, he's just standing there with a suit with his hands over his balls, telling you why they're in the Twilight Zone. Like there's no action. It's the same look that you get from him every single time.
I was going to say, he was never actually in the moment in the show. He just narrated
he was on the show. You saw him there. He narrated. It wasn't
Cory,
just his
come on.
voice,
Yeah,
but
well, I get about.
it was always the same
Never mind,
look. Always the same
Yeah.
look. I'm like, do you want something from him in the show, or just? He's like, well, a natural moment. I go, well, any moment can be natural. Why not have something that's a little bit more He's like, oh, okay, but I don't want something that you have to explain to anybody.
You're gonna have to explain it to everybody because they're not gonna know
I go,
what
That's
it
gonna
is.
be
no,
so
no,
weird.
I go,
Yeah.
that's where you and I are simpatico. I don't plan on explaining this to anyone. I go, I'll tell you what, I can pick out a better picture than that of Rod Serling in the next 60 seconds. I'll bet you. So we had a little Google war. And I'm like, this one. He's like, oh, okay, that's not bad. I'm like, all right, done. I go, I promise you, if that's what you want, we'll get a picture of Rod Serling for the hallway.
Nick, how many pictures do you think they already ordered? I'm saying 6.
Yeah, like 5 or 6. I would say.
No, 0.
That's,
No, I said there's a lot of work to be done here.
that's so random.
There's a lot of work to be done.
It's
Well,
not
if
like
you're
you
going to
have,
buy a
like-
picture of Rod Serling, you can't just like Google and like buy the first image and that's it.
But it's not like your house. Like, I mean, you have a pretty normal run of the mill house. It's not
Yeah.
like you
This
have
is where
like,
things take a turn.
like
Well, yeah,
like
exactly.
like Applebee's where you've got stuff all hanging on the wall and like a bicycle and
Bob, we come over. Bob's wearing flare. Hey guys, welcome to Bob's house.
signed autograph of the Macho Man, here,
Yeah.
and then some boxing gloves and Floyd Mayweather signature. It's not like you have.
It's
any
not
of that.
like it. Well, I do have a couple things hanging in the
Like
living
in the
room.
yeah, but
I have a couple things in the basement, and they mean something to me. Like if this means something to this will be like a joke between me and Jack forever, and I'm totally fine with that.
I'm afraid it might be much deeper than
Yeah, it's definitely deeper than that.
Why do you think it's deeper?
because
than
I
that?
just don't think it's like I want to have a funny joke with my dad. It's like I want to pass this of Rod Serling every night before I go to bed. Like,
and this is also opening a Pandora's box. I'm telling you, Nick, in 2 months' time, the house is going to be completely
Yeah.
different.
wallpapered with
Completely different.
he's just breaking down your walls. That's all. He's like, hey, this is okay. Now let me get to what I really want to hang up.
Walk in there, every light's turned into a black light, black. Walls all painted black.
Via, baby. I'm like, oh my
Lava
god,
lamps
Bob,
on every table.
yeah,
Exactly.
What is going on?
maybe.
I think
Bob,
I
are
did.
you painting your nails now too?
I think I did
Yes.
step into the Twilight Zone.
Yes, I am.
I might.
This is a rock house.
Hey, look, it's not like he said, hey, take down your favorite picture because I want to hang a picture of some dude that you've never heard of before. This is something that should be taken down. Should have been taken down a long time ago. I have no problem with it.
I almost-
It was just so random and weird.
But
that
don't
I
you
need
like-
to understand why it had to be this guy?
But you love fan art.
I do.
And you like little nichey things like
Kitschy.
that. Yeah, kitschy kind
Yeah,
of things. And you like the Twilight Zone, don't you?
I was a fan. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Jack's playing the long game.
Okay, what's the plan? What's the
I
plan?
I don't
What
know.
is the long play?
Really trying to look at I'm like you. Look at these things that I like.
I'm
that
like
are
you?
just like things you like.
Hold on.
Hey, Dad, can we get a Star Wars rug for
No.
upstairs?
Okay, so my kids have neither of my kids have ever, not once, tried to be like me. Not once. They go out of their way to make sure that they are not like me. That they don't do anything the way I did it, and they don't dress like me. They don't listen to the same. So I don't. If there's a long game, I'm not sure what it is.
Well, you'll find out later. It doesn't come up right away.
I mean, yeah, if
These
he's
little
hornswoggled
things.
me into a long game like that,
Yeah,
like
these little
hats
things.
off to him.
These little things like, wait, Dad, you really like this kind of food? Oh my God, I've loved this my whole. I can't believe we've never talked about this before. It's gonna slowly.
Dude, I'm
but
telling you,
surely.
this opened Pandora's box.
Yep.
Okay, well, I mean, we'll revisit this in 2 months' time.
It's going to be a shit show.
Send me a picture of the picture.
What's that?
Send me a picture of the picture.
Oh, absolutely.
So, Nick,
We'll post it just like Funko This.
speaking of pictures of narrators of shows, who was the first person that popped into my head, and what was the picture of him that came to mind as far as a narrator for a show?
Robert Stack.
Close.
Ricardo Montalban.
Montalban.
Jenny McCarthy.
Sheriff.
Sheriff. Oh,
Buford T.
Sheriff
Justice.
Sheriff John Bennell.
Buford
holding
Justice.
holding the shotgun in front of the helicopter.
Helicopters behind him.
Yes. So quick backstory. A buddy Nolan of ours would always love to narrate things in regular life to the voice of Sheriff John Bennell from what All World's Wildest Police Videos. And every
Wasn't that, Real Stories of the Highway Patrol.
It's all one and the same. He was.
He probably had multiple shows,
Yeah.
didn't he? I feel like he was everywhere.
But the greatest intro, like he always did these crazy intros where there was all this stuff going on around him, like guys rappelling from buildings, and he was just walking through in a leather coat and khakis every time.
Yeah.
And I remember we played it on YouTube, and the three of us were just losing our minds in tears laughing at it because he's walking, and there's a helicopter behind him that's like literally on and going. And out of the side of the screen, someone tosses him an old school shotgun.
What?
With the wooden stock and the wooden racking handle on it. And he just doesn't break eye contact from the camera, catches it, racks it, holds it like this, keeps on walking and talking.
Yeah, it was always something very elaborate.
Yes. So that was it's talking about narrators of a show.
Right.
I'm like, oh, Nick needs that in the kitchen. Just a picture of Sheriff John Bonnell with the helicopter in the background. We can make that happen, buddy.
Yeah, we'll look for that in the break. See if we can find it. Cory, let's do a little Friends trivia. Segment called
Trivia,
Could it be any more trivial? Friends trivia, hosted by Mr. Nick Boehner.
All right. Let's see what color we got today. Yellow.
Oh, we
It's 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Was it 3 in a row?
Yep.
Maybe it's a weighted die.
Well, the last time before last week, the last time we did it was February 26th, so it's been a little while. But we'll see if he can go 5 for 5.
All right. Question 1.
Oh, wait. Before we get started, I forgot to do this last week, but now that it's in my mind, is there any way that Danielle could read these questions?
I was actually thinking that.
Danielle?
No, there's no chance.
Oh, man. All right, that's fine.
Question 1.
As long as I can't even say question 1 now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go.
Excuse
me.
Okay. What's Joey's favorite professional basketball team?
The Knicks.
Yes.
Well done. Right out of the gate.
Question 2. What body anomaly did Chandler have removed?
A nubbin.
Yes.
What was the nubbin?
Yeah,
An extra-
It was a third nipple.
What, his tail?
Third nipple.
tail.
He called it his nubbin.
Mm-hmm.
When Rachel was packing... Oh, sorry. Question 3.
There you go.
I don't want to get yelled at.
You got to get this right.
Cory's
Oh.
like, staring daggers.
Right? When Rachel was packing to move, what item caused an argument between her and Monica?
The candlesticks.
Yep.
Blowing through these.
Question 4. What did Rachel's father want to give her in exchange for coming home?
It's like a boat or a car.
Well, those are 2 very different things.
Yeah. Car.
Can you be more specific?
Convertible.
Mercedes.
Mercedes. Okay. It was a car.
Oh.
Answer was Mercedes on the card, sir. So
I'll take the hit.
Okay. Question 5. What did Joey wear when he was working a PBS telethon?
A tuxedo.
Yes.
4 out of 5. Nice work.
boy, not bad, sir. Not
I
bad.
hate when it gets yellow.
They're way too easy.
All right, we're gonna keep it going with Nick with and with a little bit of help from Todd Dillon. Little Nick's existential question of the week.
Nick's existential question of the week.
Namaste.
Every time I play
Very
it,
soothing.
I go, I hope I put the short version on that button.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the longer
It was
version?
so long.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's 2 long versions.
It was like a 15-minute. It was like a. It
I
was
got
like
caught
Stairway
up
to
in the
Heaven.
groove.
Oh.
I got caught up in the groove.
All right, this week for Nick's existential question of the week. This one kind of made me chuckle. So this week's question is, if you had to exchange one physical attribute with someone in the room, who would you pick and what would you exchange with them?
I'm waiting for Todd's clarifying question.
I have so many.
So it's it's an attribute of yours that you would exchange that you would give to somebody else.
I mean, I don't know how specific it is about yours. Like, I don't know, like if it's gonna matter if I'm like, oh, I really want Corey's ears, and I'm gonna give him my foot. You
Is
know,
it an exchange or is it a gift?
It's that if you had to exchange,
So it is an exchange.
one physical attribute with someone in the room, who would you pick, and what would you exchange with them?
And the other person doesn't have to be happy at the end of it?
No,
I don't think so.
It doesn't sound like it.
I got it.
You can't have my wiener, Bob.
If that was my choice,
Leave my wiener alone.
you don't have to be happy about it, Todd.
You leave my wiener.
You don't have to be happy about it.
that's quite the color change there. It's a birthmark.
I feel like we're going to be fighting over who has to go first to answer this question.
Well, it's going to get harder as everyone has to pick more and more. So
I mean,
Well, that
Clarifying
depends.
question.
If
you said you already got yours, right?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait a
Go
minute.
ahead.
Hold on a second. I have a clarifying question.
Oh, okay. All right.
You didn't wait long enough.
If so, can I steal something that's already been stolen by someone else?
like magnolias.
There's no rule that says you can't, unless Nick makes a rule like that.
I would say that you can't just say I'd say the same thing. I'd say the same thing. I think it has to be unique. It has to be unique.
Danielle's like, fuck.
I was like,
Got
I don't
it.
want anything.
Yeah, really.
I'm good.
I don't want anything that you guys have.
I'm good. No thanks. Pass.
Physical attribute. I would exchange beards with Cory. I cannot grow a beard to save my life, and Cory has a fantastic beard.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Ooh, I want to go next. What are you giving Cory for his beard though?
My shitty beard.
Okay.
Oh, ouch.
Well, is that not what I'm supposed to do?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, okay.
It just has exchange. I would assume when you're exchanging
The
for
same
the
thing.
same thing.
I would assume the same. That's what I was
typically
assuming.
what that means.
That's what I assumed.
Corey,
That's
now
not
are you
the
gonna
case.
Clear to
now
me.
are you gonna exchange and get your beard back?
No.
Think of how much less you'd have to shave. I mean, not that you shave a lot anyway, but you know.
No, he did shave it last night to get camera ready, or this morning, or whatever.
It was a big day. I shaved my neck.
Ah,
I'll never, because I'll never forget the one day Nick's like, you asked like, oh, what happened this week? Nick's like, oh, I shaved my neck. You're like, oh, big day. So now every time I shave my neck, I'm like, big day.
That's right.
I said that?
Yeah.
Oh, did
I'm like, yeah, big day, shaving the neck.
I? Okay.
I said I'd get camera ready for the podcast.
All right,
We all
Todd.
appreciate it.
I rolled my eyes. I didn't.
Were you standing in the doorway while he was doing it?
No.
Like, this is fascinating.
No.
You should have.
No, because then I'll just see the mess, and I don't want.
No, but this is
I can't.
this is your quality control moment. This is a chance
it
for
though?
yes, this is a chance for you to go like, rinse the sink out, put the razor away.
I just do that after the fact.
No,
We're doing Nick's existential question right now. I'm not sure if you guys remember.
Sorry, Todd was ready.
I was. I'm actually going to change it up. I was going to steal Nick's beard, but I'm going to take Danielle's hair. I want my flowing locks back.
Oh, that's a good one,
I
Todd.
do have good hair.
So does that mean you're giving Danielle your hair?
Sounds like it.
I'll give you my hat collection too.
Okay, perfect. You do have a great hat collection. So
Todd's gonna have flowing blonde hair.
I am.
Yep.
Wow.
you just gotta touch up those roots. That's all.
That wig is making way too much sense now, Todd.
Well, it would probably make sense after Corey takes your penis. So
Oh no, I got something even better.
Even better than your penis. All
Even better
right.
than Todd's penis.
Can't wait. Well, I assume you're exchanging and giving him yours.
No, that's not what I'm taking.
Oh, okay. So, all right. Good.
Goodness.
Sorry, I jumped the gun.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
I would be taking Danielle's chesticles
I knew he was gonna say that.
Yeah.
so I can just play with them myself. And
Daniel's mom's on this show
I
today?
don't know if he's still here or not.
I hope not.
that's why I went with chesticles.
I
I got to think of another one now.
Your breasts.
Cory, stop.
So I can play with them myself. Nice. That's going to be a song.
Wait,
Cory.
now, hold on. Is this a stacking arrangement? Like, can you now steal Danielle's chesticles from Cory?
No, because
Okay.
Corey's. I would just play "I'm Too Sexy" by Right Said Fred, and Cory would take his shirt off, and then I'd be able to see him.
Okay.
But it would be on Cory, so I'd have to
Yeah,
cover
but
up
Cory
his
can
face.
see them anytime he
you-
wants right now.
You guys
so,
can have Adam.
Oh, come on!
That's no problem.
This took a very strange turn.
It did.
You know how Bob used to always put his arm around us and tell us he loved us?
My head
Now there's
hurts.
kind of like a reaching that goes on. He's
Bob.
It's like right behind my eyes. It's like a stabbing.
I just
you guys can
Pain in
have
the
Adam.
brain, pain in my brain.
Yeah, would you have to start shaving him?
just around the nipple.
I really hope my mom's not in here still.
And I'd give her my hairy legs.
That's not how it works. I get your chest, weirdo.
No,
It's an
no.
exchange.
It is an
Exchanges for a like or
I mean,
same item.
there's nothing stopping him from breaking the rule, but I think
Okay, fair
we've
enough.
just been going on the assumption that it was like for like.
An eye for an eye.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Gotcha.
didn't ask the right clarifying question. Sorry, Daniel.
See, I told
yeah,
you.
Yeah, Todd. Thank you. Jesus.
Told you right up front, Todd.
Yep. Damn it.
Do you want to go last?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to take.
So, yeah, so I'm not going to downgrade myself to Todd's penis, but what I would do is I would definitely take Todd's voice.
Oh,
that's a good one.
That chocolate sexy deep voice.
yeah.
Yeah, you keep laughing, Todd. Keep laughing.
But you know, the curious thing is, you already have a radio voice that's built for impressions. Why would you
Absolutely.
give that away?
Oh, shucks.
Why
I
would
know.
you give
Well,
it away?
Shucks, Bob.
I felt like it was a win because then I could make fun of Cory all day, every day.
Yeah, you could. That is great.
Yeah, because that doesn't happen enough.
That is great. That's it. There's a lot of people up here that are just waiting to talk.
There's a lot of people up here.
There are.
But that's a skill in the brain, though, right?
Yeah, so I think I would still be able to do voices.
You probably have some. You'd have to work the vocal cords with a little bit more dexterity, maybe. But it
Would you
might
help
mean
me with that?
No. No.
Bob's like, oh, there's that feeling in my eyes again.
Yeah. It's like an ice pick to my brain.
And it worked.
It's like a lobotomy.
It's a reverse lobotomy. I'm now smarter and more in pain than I was before. Danielle, you're up. Last woman standing.
I really don't know.
So even with your better half, there's no physical attributes worth taking.
I mean, what am I guess I'd take your ears so I could hear better. You can have my shitty hearing.
Do you have shitty hearing?
Me? Oh yeah.
In what way? Like tinnitus?
No, I've had 2 surgeries on my right ear. I had 60% hearing loss. I didn't have, my eardrum was like totally gone. They had to reconstruct my eardrum and my ear bones.
I've learned more about you tonight than I think I've learned over the last
Yeah,
4
it
years.
was
Ear bones and Slim
3
Jims.
years ago, I think was my first surgery.
Congratulations. I think you came up with a title for the episode.
Yeah, I think it was 3 years ago now?
Did something happen?
Sure.
They don't know for sure. I had a lot of ear infections as a kid,
Okay.
so they don't know at what point where my eardrum went.
Okay.
Get those Slim Jims out of your ears.
Yeah. But like I've always noticed, I have a harder time hearing if somebody's on my right side.
Okay.
I don't talk on the phone on my right side because I can't hear as well as I can on my left side, and I just finally went to an ENT.
And did it help?
It did when I first got it done, but I've told him I think it's starting to come back a little bit because I can't hear as well as I could. They said it wouldn't like totally restore my hearing.
Yeah.
Like I had a hearing test right after, and I think it got up to, like I regained like up to 80%, but I think it's kind of going back down again. I need to probably go get it checked again. But
How
I
often?
want to.
I was gonna say, how often do you meet with the doctor to check it out? Is it like a yearly
I
thing
haven't
maybe, or-
since after the second surgery.
Okay, and that was 4 years ago. You said.
The first one I think was either 3 or 4 years ago. The first one, and then the other one was 6 months after that. It did when I first got it done, but
Whoop. Who's got their volume up there?
So there was this kind of
My
reminds
bad.
me. This kind of reminds me of an episode of Frasier. So there was an episode where they all went up to the ski lodge, and so it was Frasier and Niles, and then Daphne. And Daphne brought a really attractive girl as her friend, and there was a French ski instructor.
Yep.
So as the story goes on, they're all in one scene, and Niles is pining after Daphne. Daphne's pining after the ski instructor. Turns out the ski instructor's gay, and he's pining after Niles. And
I know exactly what line you're gonna say.
Frasier's pining after the girl that Daphne brought.
Yeah.
So finally, everyone finds out at the end.
Yeah.
And everyone's kind of nose has been out of shape, and they're about to all go to bed. And Frasier said, "Let me just get this straight. With all the people in this room, all the lust that's surging through this lodge, and no one was chasing me." And I feel that right now.
Well, Gina did
Nobody
say
wanted anything from me.
Gina does want your voice. She said
Thanks, Gina.
she wouldn't want to listen.
No
to
one wanted anything from me either. If it makes you feel any better.
She said, Nick, she wouldn't want story time from anybody else.
I wasn't gonna pat his back with
Thank
that
you.
comment. So
I'm making him feel better.
Oh, Gina, always saving the day for Nick.
That's right. Someone needs to.
Well, Todd was going to take your beard till he stole
I
my
was
hair.
going to take your
He
beard.
was
I
a
was going
coin
to take your
toss.
beard.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
like, I don't want that. Change. Oh, man. Never disappoints.
That was a good question, sir. Good pick. I could see why you chuckled when you first read it.
Do some drinking alone by myself tomorrow thinking about this.
All right, you guys ready for a break?
sure.
Well, let's do it. Give us about 15 minutes, ladies and gents. We're going to hit the interlude button here and give you something to listen to. Don't have to go anywhere, but go take a bio break. Tend to whatever business you have to do with your significant other, and then come back and join us in about 15 minutes.
G'day from Down Under. Just a quick word so there's no whinging. No worries. The boys from Schnozzcast are taking a break from a ripper episode. Just grabbing a slab from the bottle-o to quench their thirst. So relax, grab yourself a coldie and enjoy the music. Ta!
And welcome back to the second half of episode 120 for Schnozzcast. Thanks for sticking with us. We are enjoying a very nice summer evening here in Michigan. Good weather outside. No rain currently, so that's always good. But Nick's got his backyard all set up. It's always nice to come over when the weather has turned and Nick turns on the outside lights. He starts talking about like, hey, look what I planted. I've got some new stuff going on. Bought some new plants, trying to set up a little ecosystem. Started walking me through it. He's super excited. So that's always a good time of year. I always look forward to that.
Well, thank you, Bob.
Yeah. And I think Cory's looking at me like that's enough compliments for Nick for the night.
Yeah, seriously. The fuck?
No, you didn't want to come out there the other night, so I'm surprised you're saying it now.
Who didn't want to go outside? Me?
No, Bob.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I was, me and music had a very intimate relationship that night.
Oh, yeah.
Shit. Sorry, Todd. You're unmuted now.
Thank you.
Sorry, buddy.
No worries.
I'm still trying to get back in the switcher game here.
The swing.
Yes.
Swing.
It's coming. All right, let's. Why don't we jump into Little Gentleman's Agreement, sir?
Oh, sure.
Let you do the artwork.
There you go.
All right. As a little apology for having him muted, let's give the microphone to Todd to start. Todd, you had
no need to apologize, but
you had For All Mankind. I think it was from Nick.
I did. I really like it. There's something really odd about it, though. Typically with shows that I like, especially like series. So anyway, I'll give the quick 30-second overview. It is a story about kind of the space race with kind of an alternate beginning, if you will. It's kind of a setting where Russia makes it to the moon first, and they keep beating the U.S. to the punch, and we are forced to chase them. What I found really odd was, especially through the first 2 episodes, I thought that they went really long. I'm like, wow, how long are these episodes? Like 2 hours? Because it just seemed to like there's like so much stuff. And then I also found it very interesting because they were filling in all the historical blanks, and it's mostly accurate. But again, because they've switched it up, it's very interesting the way that they did it. But the one, like I said, that was the one thing I was, and I don't want to do a spoiler, but the end of episode 2, 100% hooked me. And then I watched another episode, but it felt like I watched TV for about 7 hours.
So who was it? The president at the time, was that Nixon?
Nixon, yeah.
So the thing I found interesting, and we'll have to fact check this, was to kind of echo your sentiment. Yeah, there was a lot of, like, it was as if they were like, hey, let's make this as historically accurate as we possibly can. Let's have, people gathered around the TV watching President Nixon, and let's all do this. But this alternate universe of what if this happened. And so did they have like a Nixon impersonator when he was on TV saying, well, Russia, blah, 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 blah? Because it all seemed so real, but I focused in and I'm like, it was legitimately Nixon on TV, like from the from whenever the 50s or whatever. But I'm like, okay, I don't think his mouth is matching up. They're like doing quick takes where it wasn't matching up, but it sounded exactly like him. So they must have had like an impersonator, but changed the dialogue to reflect.
Just a bit though, because there are some things that were 100% accurate. Because that's what I thought. I'm like, holy cow, this is. I'm like, am I misremembering history? And I'm like, well, no, they actually just slightly changed it. And actually, the one thing that I found very odd in the episodes that I watched is like that alternate. Even though the U.S. isn't winning where I'm at so far, it actually pushed us to be better, which is pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought it was really well done based on just all the little details.
Agreed, but the episodes do not fly by. When I look at every other series that I watch, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe 45 minutes just went by. And then this show, I'm like, this has been going on like an hour and a half. When's this going to stop and go to the next episode?
Is there a lot more dialogue than action? Is that why it's seeming so long?
Maybe that's it. I mean, maybe that's it. But it's like there are a lot of details that I think that we don't realize that went into kind of our methodology for going to space. And so there's a lot of detail that needs to get covered because otherwise you just wouldn't be able to wrap your head around it, I don't think. And the fact that they've made it actually match very closely real history, I think that's why there's so much dialogue to get there.
Yeah, it was kind of like the last movie I had to watch, the one about, what was it, Buzz Aldrin or whoever, Neil Armstrong or something like that.
Oh, First Man?
Yeah. It was very similar to that, but an alternate timeline. But I mean, the acting, the clarity, the home life, it was very, very similar. Like it was, you saw the astronauts when they went home and talking to their wife and the trials and tribulations that they had, so it wasn't just, we're in rockets going to space. It was all the backstories.
Yeah. And I love the fact that they all had Corvettes.
Yeah.
Excellent, sir.
So would highly recommend.
All right. So you were assigned that movie by Nick. So Nick,
I assigned a movie to. Oh, sorry.
no. So we're gonna go. We're gonna flip and go the other way. Nick got the Pink Panther for me.
So let me just get this clear.
Yeah.
Let me just clear this up. So the 1963 one, right?
That's right.
Okay. I don't know why I could not get on board with it. It was, I mean, I don't even know. It was just like the hokey, goofy. I felt myself trying to focus on what exactly the plot was like the whole time.
Okay.
And that was the only part that I didn't care for. I felt myself like, saying like, okay, who's the Pink Panther? Who's this person? What are they trying to do? It drug out for me. And that was the only part I didn't like about it. Like I really couldn't. It was almost like I don't know. It was like their version of like Austin Powers, maybe. Like poking fun at the James Bond movies, kind of Inspector Clouseau, mindset. But he was just the bumbling, stumbling inspector. And I could see where that would be funny, but for me, like I just couldn't get on board with it. It was so exaggerated that it just wasn't fun. I'm like, okay, well, he's going to walk out the door, and he'd go to walk out the door, and he'd walk directly into it, and be like, oh God, and there's no audience or anything like that, so it's just dead silent. And I'm like, okay, and then he'd walk over and trip over a chair, and I'm like, I just couldn't get on board with the hokiness of it. That was the only thing. Otherwise, it wasn't that it was dated or anything like that. It was a little too slapsticky,
Okay. Good to know. Yeah, it is definitely in the vein of 1963 predated Austin Powers, and all everything that came after it had elements of that. It was a big influence on a lot of different things, but that sort of like physical humor, like Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin, Peter Sellers really kind of had that. That was his game in that movie. So I was interested to know whether or not it would translate, or that was something that you would like. But thought it was worth a try.
I think, and I wanted to watch it just based on the clout that it has.
Yeah.
I think maybe at the time it was probably hysterical.
And a lot of things were. I mean, that's why some things age well and some things don't.
Actually, others don't.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Good, Bad, and the Ugly was fantastic.
Right.
There's a lot of other things, that I would watch, that were from the 50s and things like that even were funny. Mm-hmm. I just couldn't get on board with, him tripping and walking into, into a door.
It was kind of like a Mr. Magoo kind of, humor and physical humor.
Yeah. Can you think of any other slapsticky type of films that you've watched?
You've seen the Three Stooges, right? Oh, you haven't. You mother... Oh, I swear to God,
hold
Nick.
on. Are you serious? You've never...
Of course, I've seen them all. Of course I have.
He's never seen... You've never seen the Three Stooges.
No.
Wait a minute. The movie or the show?
The show. Yeah, Todd. Come on.
The show.
You're better than that.
All right.
I mean, like
I know what Nick's getting. Cory hasn't.
If it's very similar to this, then I'm not going to like it. So why would you want to give me something I'm not going to like?
Oh, you'll love the boys.
No, the Three Stooges.
It's a different. Yeah, go ahead, Cory.
It's a way different take on physical humor and physical comedy.
I mean, I love Frasier. They do that a lot. The unspoken comedy where there's several different people in a scene. One person leaves, the next one comes in, and they don't know the next person's in the next room, and they're like, oh, let me move this cup. And he walks out of the room, and the next person comes in, and he's like, how did this cup get here? I just moved it over here, and he moves it back. I mean, to me, that's hysterical. And, the cars chasing each other, and the one goes this way, and you can't see him, and the other one goes this way, and I get it. But for whatever reason, this just didn't hit it with me.
Okay. I feel like Cory and I could go on and on about how the Three Stooges is not like the Pink Panther and why we think you might like it, but suffice it to say, it's now in my list.
Thank God.
Because I didn't know. It's one of those things where it's like an unspoken rite of passage for guys. At least it always was for me and anybody else I knew growing up. That's just what you know.
Dude, Mayor Guido was one of the biggest fans of the Three
Was he
Stooges
really?
that I've ever known. As a matter of fact, so every year at school we did a talent show that we've discussed.
Yeah.
And he would he would make
non-Catholic talent show,
a guest appearance at every talent show every year with Mikey, his son. And suffice it to say, 99.9% of the time, they were going to do something along the line of like a Three Stooges act.
him and his son.
Yeah.
The two of them would do. Just the two of them.
Yes. And, like the physical comedy aspect of it and all that. The idea of it.
Okay.
But in his basement, he had a room set aside with 2 leather lazy boys. This was way before this was even like readily available, and everyone had them.
Yeah.
2 huge leather lazy boys with the massagers in them, cup holders, had a real nice table in between. They were both raised up, and he had one of the first flat screens.
Okay.
The tube flat screens, and he had that raised up, kind of like in a like.
Did he get his from a heroin dealer?
Probably.
Nice.
That's another whole nother long story. Yeah. But anyways, and so it was just the 2 chairs, and the wall behind was just a huge rack of VHSs and DVDs.
Yeah.
And I remember Mikey and I would sit down there for hours upon hours, if not days, watching every Three Stooges episode because Mayor Guido had every single one.
Yeah.
And dude, so you could have said for I'd say at least a year straight, you could have sat down there.
Yeah.
And never seen the same Three Stooges, whether it be an episode or some sort of special that he had that he probably spent way too much money on.
Right.
But yeah, he had, dude. That's
so. When you saw him do the routine at the Catholic school talent show, was it apparent like, oh, they've practiced this routine?
Oh yeah, like
the eye poke.
The one that comes into mind all the time. The one year they did. It was some sort of like they were called like the something magicians, and Mayor Guido was up there and he had 3 bricks, and he started doing the thing where he had all 3 of them in a line, and he'd flip it, he'd catch it, flip it again, catch it, and then finally, once he got done, everyone applauded, and he took a bow, and you could see that the brick was clearly attached to a steel rod,
right, to
his shirt. That so it was that kind of humor that they went with. Yeah. No, dude, it was classic. They literally could have had their.
I am learning tons of shit from you guys tonight. This is really cool.
They could have had their own TV show, to be honest with you. Him and his son. They did a real good job with it.
I can say with 100% certainty that is the Three Stooges is one of the things that, when you're growing up, you kind of get into young adulthood and you start to like you and your dad start to butt heads. You start to push back, be a little more independent. Sometimes the relationship can suffer a little bit, but that was definitely something that my dad and I bonded over. Three Stooges.
Big time.
Yeah.
My dad always called me Shemp.
He called you Shemp?
Oh, all the time.
At least he didn't call you Curly Joe.
No, it was always Shemp. And then I finally found out that I'm like, what is this Shemp that he's like, he was the original Stooge over Curly. I'm like, now you're
Curly was the best, and Joe was a misfit.
But yeah, I didn't realize there was a Stooge prior to Curly, and that was Shemp.
Yeah, they hadn't quite hit it big yet.
Yeah,
by that time. But anyway,
I digress.
Good to know. All right, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Should we do this now?
Sure. We can let it get warm if you want.
No, let's not do that.
If it's too cold for you.
Oh, save.
Why do I?
Was it though?
Why do I need to wash these every couple weeks? I don't know.
For a minute, I'm like, that's not mine.
Doesn't count if it's not yours and you do it.
I'm not taking it.
He made it very clear. He's like, yours is the one with the yellow fireball symbol.
Yeah.
So I went to grab the other one. I'm like, oh, no, I can't take that one. That's Nick's. Todd,
Got it.
Ship over
you got a
here.
little SoCo over there?
I do.
Beautiful. And if you're in the audience out there and you're wondering why you're not doing one with us, then please remedy that. It's not even midnight. Grab yourself a shot and join us.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Salute.
I'm gonna have to. I took it without you.
All right. So I signed that to Nick. I had the fittest in Dubai from Cory. This was it was marketed to me as being the follow-up to the one I watched the previous week, Froning, the Fittest Man Alive on Netflix. So I don't know why I went into this thinking I was going to see Rich Froning in this thing.
No.
I did not.
No, he was done with singles.
But I looked in every scene. I'm like, where is he? Where is he? So it's essentially, it's the same thing. It's the CrossFit, a CrossFit championship that I think it was 2018? 19. Right before the pandemic, they decided to reconfigure how they let people qualify for the championships. And in so doing, they were kind of wooed by Dubai, who put up like more money than any other championship, any other site, to pay the participants. And everybody got something. Everybody, they got a flight out there, and so they spent a lot of time in, a lot of the different events were, one was in the desert, one was down on the beach, and then they went to, a stadium there. But the whole thing kind of highlighted the city, and you can kind of tell, oh, I almost forgot about this part. So it seemed like it was produced by people who were running the CrossFit event in Dubai. They said, well, we're going to make a movie out of this. We're going to film the whole thing. And it was produced by those folks. And I caught that up to the beginning, but I didn't really catch how DIY it was until they started making, remember they had those graphs to show like, okay, here's how we used to be able to let you qualify. And then now there's like a new flow chart for how you can get there. Yeah. And where they wanted to highlight where the competitors would go, they used the word athlete, except they misspelled athlete and it was athlete.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, and it was in every graph, and I'm like, I feel like that's something you should catch.
that's a bad editing job right there.
Send it to Netflix that you misspelled the word of the competitor. But otherwise, I thought it was really well done. They focused on. There were a couple of competitors that I think you got me following on Instagram that they didn't even talk to. They competed, but they only kind of focused on a handful of like half a dozen competitors. So
the follow-up that I was basically telling you about was that Matt, and I can't remember his last name. Matt Frazier. Yeah. He was the one basically gunning after Rich.
In Rich's special.
Yeah. So this was kind of I'm not going to say it was based around Matt, but he was kind of the focal point.
He was definitely they picked him and one of the other female competitors, Sarah Sigmundsdottir.
Yes.
Then they focused on them primarily while also focusing on like the, second and third place.
Yes. This was the first year that Rich didn't compete
as a single.
Yeah.
So Rich is still doing team events.
Oh, okay.
But he's not doing single events anymore.
They have a CrossFit Mayhem team.
Mayhem?
It's CrossFit Mayhem, yeah.
That's the name of their team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's the name of like all of their stuff is Mayhem.
Okay. So there was the idea that Matt they were following him in this one as a single competitor, but the other part from the Rock show, Titan Games.
Yeah,
Danny Spiegel.
That's the one.
Was at that CrossFit competition.
Never said a word.
Never
once.
She was on camera. She was on camera maybe a total of 45 seconds.
That was so weird too because you could see her in the list where she placed in one of the events, and I was trying to pick her up, but it was almost like they specifically studiously avoided having anybody on camera except the people that they had
already kind of picked out
and probably worked a deal with, like with their agents to say like we're going to put you on camera, we're going to give you speaking parts.
Those people are like the people that constantly are there, like those are like the big name people. So that's why they focused on them more than like Danny. Right. I think that probably was like her first.
What I also I researched that because I'm like,
did you?
Why were they not looking into Danny Spiegel, she's been on the Titan games. She won it.
That was before though.
So the Titan games they filmed after they did that.
Or maybe they filmed it before but didn't air until after that.
The Titan games?
I mean, they filmed the Titan games like 6 to 8 months before it airs.
Right. So they
why.
filmed the Titan games after they filmed The Fittest in Dubai, though.
Oh, okay.
So they weren't really even aware of who she was or anything at the time.
That makes sense.
And so now I'm sure the producers and all that of Fittest in Dubai were like, damn it.
I mean,
we had this chick there that has gone on to be on TV and win the Titan games and this and that. And now she's a huge deal.
Yeah.
And I mean, Matt Fraser and all that, they're just still kind of run-of-the-mill people as far as I know. But anyways, yeah, I thought that was pretty funny that Danny Spiegel's name came up in there.
Yeah.
And then my last input on it was the amount of money that went into this for the competitors.
Yeah.
It was insane.
You could in a day you could walk out of there with like $80,000.
They said if you just showed up there and didn't place or anything like that, but you just participated, you walked out with at least $1,500.
Yeah. Well, because I figured it out. If Matt placed first in all of the events, he would have walked out with $80,000.
The last event alone, they upped the prize while they were there to $30,000.
Yeah.
Just for that last event. It's kind of crazy. So let me close it out just by saying, if you, I always find that kind of shit fascinating because, once upon a time, when I was in shape,
into CrossFit.
Yeah, never into CrossFit, but like I would have been like, oh, that would be fun to do. So now I just look at it as being like something that's really, really interesting, something that I can't do, but I find just fascinating because it's a lot of hard work. And it's something to watch, especially the behind the scenes stuff. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, to match along with Ferroni the Fittest Man Alive that I watched last week, Fittest in Dubai on Netflix. And with that, over to Cory, who signed it to me, and he had a Greyhound from Todd.
So yes, Todd.
Yes.
This one you hit the nail on the head, sir. Greyhound.
That's what I'm talking about.
Starring Tom Hanks. All revolving around the factual story of the Battle of the Atlantic in World War II. U.S. forces and British forces basically finding out that the Germans came up with these little things called the U-boats. And the Greyhound was one of the boats tasked with getting a convoy across the pond to meet up with British forces and be taken over by them. And what ensues is history. Anyone that's familiar with World War II and U-boats and all that, it's they were the world's first submarines. And all of the Allied forces were very caught off guard by the technology of a submersible ship that could shoot torpedoes, and you really not be able to see, besides a little blip on the only piece of technology that they really had at the time, which was sonar. That was really the only way you could come across a U-boat. And Todd, to me, the biggest thing in watching it was the idea of like them submersing you into being on the ship and knowing that there's these underwater boats that can fire torpedoes at you and you not being able to see what's going on. And those ships were unbelievably hard to maneuver and steer out of the way of a torpedo. And the thought that could have happened at any time of the day while you were on that ship and you could have just been sank. That really like it hit home. And I was watching him. My butthole was clenching the entire time. I'm like,
I'm like, dude, clencher.
Oh,
there's
dude,
a thought.
Seriously, dude, you're on a ship and you don't know, like, just at any given point, it could just be blown up. And because, like I said, no one was aware of, this technology and this new ship that the Germans had. Mm-hmm. So the thought of that, and how hard it would have been to captain a ship such as that, to maneuver and not get hit by a torpedo, and have your ship blown up was insane. And the other part that really, kind of tugged at the heartstrings was, I had two grandfathers in World War II, and they were both in the Navy. So that was something that they, I'm not saying they took part in that battle by any means, but that was a fear at the time.
Which side were they on?
The Germans.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, so I mean, just dude, all in all, a great movie. They end up making it over through the Atlantic, and then the Greyhound's kind of I shouldn't say kind of, it definitely is the victor of the fleet.
Wasn't World War I with the Germans? World War II was with Japan?
Did I say World War II?
You did.
Sorry, one.
Actually, the one thing, Cory, I think, and again, I keep assigning things like this. I thought the history of it is very fascinating. I am a huge fan of historically accurate movies like that, and especially if you have Tom Hanks, you got to love movies with him. But I think that the thing that for me always is the importance of everyone on that boat being on the same team, and it took every one of them. I mean.
All the way from
Hank's captained an amazing ship, but everybody had to do their job. Everybody,
all the way from the messenger, that was portrayed in there to the.
Don't spoil it, man, because I want to watch this.
Sorry, to even the cook.
Every person was a part of the team, and they all fulfilled a very, very, very specific roles that led to his success. And if any of them had done it wrong, they'd have been screwed.
Oh, most definitely. And to
don't tell us how the war ends.
Oh, sorry, I won't ruin that for you.
Spoiler alert.
World War I or II?
Well, and this I don't want to give
both.
If you plan on watching, I definitely don't want to give too much away. But
yeah.
Todd, there was a scene in there, and I'm hoping I can tell it to you without Bob knowing. I was left on the couch speechless, and Danielle was actually even trying to talk to me and tell me something.
But she couldn't because you were speechless.
And I was I was glued to the TV at the ceremony that they were doing.
Back off, woman.
Oh, I'm the part you're talking about.
Was it like Charlie Brown's mom? Like you just had no idea.
I don't even think there was noise.
No.
I know what part you're talking about, though.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
it was
I got very angry because you weren't answering me.
I realized he was watching his movie for this. So.
Yeah.
Well, but if it was any other part, it wouldn't have had that effect on me.
Right.
So, yeah, man, great pick, and I definitely. Both you guys should definitely check it out. It's a phenomenal picture.
It's on my list.
Awesome.
Which brings us to Danielle Finn.
Yes.
So way back, once upon a time.
Like a month ago.
December 13th.
It was a month ago.
It was not December.
In March, you had The Americans from Todd.
Yes. I liked it. The beginning of it was kind of slow, like trying to figure out what exactly was going on. I didn't realize in like the opening scene that it was Carrie Russell either, because she had a blonde wig on and looked nothing like her. Mm-hmm. I like where it's going. Like by the end of the first episode,
Can you give a spoiler free, just like 30-second?
So basically, Carrie Russell and her husband are KGB. That one. Yep. Spies. I knew I was going to mess up the letters.
That's all right.
I even said it in my head before, so I remembered what
Russian,
the letter was.
It's Russian. Now, if you were like in the FIB, those guys.
Tell me about when you were in the KFC.
I knew it too. I'm like, I'm going to screw the letters up. But anyways, so her and her husband are Russian spies.
Well, for the audio listeners, you're making the quotes symbols. Yeah.
Well, because they seemed really good, but as like it's progressing, it seems like they're not on the same page about where their life is. Mm-hmm. But they're both Russian spies. They have a neighbor that ends up moving in, and they find out he's an FBI agent who basically is trying to...
Wait, is this spoiler free?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's spoiler free.
Okay.
Yep.
But they find out they move, or the FBI guy moves in next door, and they find out basically he's trying to find people like them. And the husband kind of freaks out, wants out of working for Russia. She's totally against it because she feels that that's like a worse plan, because they've got 2 kids. The kids have no idea whatsoever that they're Russian.
All right, I don't want to know. Okay.
Oh, you haven't seen this either, Bob?
I have not.
Don't tell me.
Oh.
That's why I said spoiler free.
Well, it's not really a spoiler.
It's not a spoiler.
Well, but now I want to ask a couple questions but I feel like
Don't do it.
I'm not going to.
Okay.
It's just going to ruin it for me.
But yeah, so basically,
No questions.
they're spies.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to keep being a spy. He wants to be an American. She's not on that plan. FBI agent.
She's on Plan B.
Yeah, exactly. FBI agent
Blank
An
KGB.
HMO.
hasn't been living there that long, is already kind of suspicious of them. And I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
And
so
it gets way, way, way better.
hour-long episodes?
Yes.
You
Well, it was a little more than an hour. The
watch-
first episode was like an hour and 10, maybe.
Yeah, they set it up, but they get a little bit shorter.
Oh, okay.
You watched the first 2?
2.
Okay. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Nope.
All right. So you're recommending?
Yeah.
Are you going to finish this
I'm going to add it in
to
with
the rotation?
my shows.
Yeah.
Okay.
The normal rotation.
Yeah.
Perhaps
Okay.
she'll come back around.
That's a big vote of confidence.
Jimmy likes it too. Jimmy Pappas. Love it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so that's one of his faves.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's it was my airplane go-to when I was traveling all the time. I'm like,
Yeah. It was
I
a
would
little
download it.
The start was a little slow. I was like, this needs to pick up the pace. But they were trying to set everything up, which makes sense.
Right. Okay. Fantastic.
I got
Let's-
2 wins.
Dude, you should be celebrating.
I am.
Yeah, especially because I really shat on the last one you gave me.
You did.
There's a lot of shatting. Yeah.
Shatting.
All right. We have for new assignments. We here's what we've got.
Beep, boop, 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 beep, boop, boop.
I have drawn Todd. Todd has
Sweet.
drawn Cory. Cory
Sweet.
has drawn Nick. Nick has drawn Danielle, and Danielle has drawn me.
Nick's not allowed to have Danielle.
No.
Too late.
I always want Nick because he hasn't seen anything.
I know it's the easiest thing in the
Everybody
world.
does.
I have you.
Everybody does.
Yeah, you got
Damn
me.
it, you're harder though because you watch a lot of stuff.
Oh, I am harder.
Yeah. You're stuck between.
That's what she said.
Thanks, Todd.
Oh, to give you.
Thanks, Todd.
When Danielle's giving it to
You'll
Bob,
think
he's
of
always
something.
harder. Yeah, Danielle's in the worst place ever right now, basically.
I really am.
She has to give a pick to Bob.
Look,
Oh,
this
wait,
is
she
a,
has to
I did
receive
tell-
a pick
this
from
is
me.
a
told you
random
one.
formula. It
No.
doesn't. Okay.
I know. I told him one earlier that I think
Hit me.
You
Let's
might
go.
like. You might be a little bit not okay with it, but I think you'll appreciate it.
Let me guess. Is this a murder documentary?
No, it's not. I did
Okay.
not give you any.
Is it a documentary?
Did not give you a
It is a
documentary.
document. It's
No.
not. All
No.
right. Let's hear what it is.
Okay. Have you seen The Greatest Showman yet?
I have not.
Okay.
I'll
I
take-
know it's a musical.
That's okay.
But it's got like the historical
I'm not
aspect
anti-musical.
about stuff. Right. I
Yeah.
feel like you'll appreciate
I
it.
have heard good things. I'm writing it down.
Yes.
I am anti-musical.
Are you really?
Yes. Who wants to watch a musical?
It's not
Have you
like
ever
it's
seen a musical?
It's not like it's
Yes.
all musical.
What
And
musicals have you seen?
Plus, it's Hugh Jackman and Zac Efron, and they're both really good singers.
You lost me at Zac Efron. But anyway, back to you. Which ones have you seen?
That's not a knife. This is a knife. I just am imagining Hugh Jackman singing.
No.
But it's about Barnum and Bailey.
Don't
about the
spoil it
circus.
for me.
Come on, Danielle.
It's about the circus.
I don't know what it's about.
Mary Poppins.
Okay, you were not a fan?
No, I loved Mary Poppins.
Well,
That's
that's
a
a musical.
I understand, but most musicals I don't like.
What other musicals have you seen that you didn't
Sound
like?
of Music was okay, but it drug on.
Oh,
a
that's
lot.
right. We heard that story.
Drug on a
That's
lot.
it's a long movie. That's
Yeah, it is.
It is. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay.
What the hell was it?
I'm surprised you've seen The Sound of
the
Music.
80s drag musical thing that I watched because I felt like I had to watch it.
The Birdcage?
No. The
Drag music.
Let's do the time warp.
Oh, Rocky Horror Picture Show?
That was horrible.
What?
Who assigned that to you?
Nobody assigned it.
That
was around Halloween.
Pre-podcast.
Yeah, no, it was not. It was during the podcast. It was around Halloween. I felt like I've heard the term or the phrase Rocky Horror Picture Show so many times. I knew nothing about it. And I'm like, okay, it's around Halloween. This seems like a rite of passage. Maybe I need to watch this. And I watched it, and it was horrible.
You know what? I think that is an outlier. I don't think you can include it because you're supposed to. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're supposed to go to a theater and watch this with a crowd of people where they respond to the.
Yeah, it'd be a totally different aspect.
They respond to different things. Like everybody, like at a certain scene, like everybody throws macaroni. And there's another scene where everybody goes, yeah, that's right, bitch. Whatever it is they do, like you're responding to what's on the screen together, and it's a communal shared experience.
So you're showing up to a theater with pockets full of macaroni?
Yes.
I'm sure they provide it to you.
You're not supposed to watch it. It's not nearly as enjoyable watching it by yourself in your living room.
It's definitely meant to be a group experience.
Yeah. It's like watching Pink Floyd The Wall on acid with your friends.
I've also not done that.
Well, we'll get to that.
Acid,
let me
heroin.
update my gentleman's agreement.
I tried to watch the updated one too, the newer one.
There's a newer one?
Oh yeah.
There's a newer Rocky Horror?
And I went.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I went through halfway of that one and I stopped.
Did you watch the original?
The original was the first thing I watched.
Oh, okay.
All right. We are we are derailing here just a bit. Okay. Anybody else got a pick ready?
I do.
You got Nick.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I've been holding on to this one for quite a bit.
Oh, let's hear it.
Oh, Wilson Phillips, chill out.
So I'm trying to remember. Oh, Biodome with Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
I put several others in my list.
Because I hated that. Yeah.
You have Jury Duty.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay.
On Amazon.
Okay.
You do have to pay $2.99 for it.
Now, to be clear, Cory, this is not a punitive pick, is it? Like
I'm trying to get back.
Like you think he's going to like this.
Jury Duty is a good.
Hold on. Not what you think is a good movie, but you think I will like it.
After your review of Biodome and how Pauly Shore was in Biodome, yes, this is. It's Pauly Shore is Pauly Shore. That's never going to change. But the movie itself,
I loved In the Army Now.
You did?
Oh, if you loved In the Army Now, then
I stand corrected.
Then Jury Duty's you're gonna love it over Biodome.
Yeah. Okay. Nick, you got something for Danielle?
I do. Danielle, The One on Netflix.
The One.
The One on Netflix. It's relatively new.
Hold on. I'm going to make sure I didn't watch it.
You don't know?
I watched a lot of stuff when we were...
You watch all this new shit, but you never go back and watch old movies.
Quarantined. Because I know you guys are going to give me like an old movie, so... I don't know what to pick. So I mean, that's why this is such a great bit that we do.
The series?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't watched it.
Because I don't know what is good and what's not, so I can't just think of, I should go back to the 60s and watch this, because I have no clue. So
just Google movies from this time that were good.
I don't have to sing it.
I'm trying to help you get into it.
For the audio listeners, her head was bobbing and gyrating back and forth.
And I was moving back and forth.
Yes. There's a little shimmying going on. Todd, what do you got for Cory? You've drawn him twice in a row now.
I have. And so I'm actually going to
wait. Hold on. Who gave you Into the Badlands?
I gave Cory Into the Badlands.
Is this the third in a row?
Yeah.
This is supposed to be random. I apologize.
Yeah, very random, Bob.
I know.
I'm using a random formula. I don't know what to tell you.
What sort of agenda do you have here? Uh-huh.
That's right, because I got Todd like 17 times in a row, so.
You did?
Exactly.
Okay.
I've watched 18 documentaries.
All right, well.
Me too, Todd. Me too.
All right. What do you got, Todd?
Well, I'm going to switch it up. First, I'm going to try something a little lighter to see if he might have seen it. Have you seen Frankie and Grace?
Yes.
Grace and Frankie?
Yes, that's the one.
Okay.
You've seen that?
Yes, I have.
All right.
The look of complete befuddlement on Danielle's face.
I have hours upon hours upon hours of time.
Not looking very.
And then he goes home from work and he's got more time.
Right, exactly.
That was not a radiant look I saw.
No, it was not.
Because I know what that show is, and I just can't see him watching
I've
it.
seen that show.
That was a great
I like
show.
that show.
Really?
I do too.
I've seen like the first 5 seasons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was not.
I'm
It's,
2
it's not
seasons
something I've
in and
ever
I love
watched. 2
Say
recently.
that again.
Oh, okay.
What'd you say?
All right.
Cory?
So you've seen it.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go back a little bit. I'm gonna try something a little bit different. Have you seen Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy?
That's it. Oh,
Did you just make that up?
Cory.
I did not.
Sounds made up.
Cory, is this based on a novel from John le Carre?
Pinky Dinky Wiggy Wom Wham?
Tinker
Like,
Tailor.
are you just
Back in the
making up
60s?
words?
Yeah, really.
It's a really good movie, Cory. I think
Tinker Tailor
Soldier Spy.
Soldier
Soldier
Spy.
Spy.
Like you didn't get it the first time. Come on.
It's
And
just
it's
a
on
bunch of words
Hulu.
pushed together.
Ooh, okay.
It's on Hulu.
Well done, sir.
I'm going to the well. I'm like, I was going to try and switch it up, but I'm like, since he got my first, and I'm like, I'll give him something that if he liked A Man from U.N.C.L.E., he'll like this.
All right. So that I got you, Todd, for the end.
Sweet.
I'm hoping that you have not seen Luther.
Luther?
Yeah.
Like the Luther Vandross story?
Wow.
No.
Wait, have you seen the Luther Vandross story?
I have not. But as soon as you said Luther, that's the first thing that popped into my head. I'm like, there's a Luther movie?
Unfortunately, due to the gentleman's agreement rules, I have to have seen it, and I really wish I had.
Bob's like, now I'm going to go look for it.
No, this is a series. It's a show called Luther with Idris Elba.
Okay.
It's supposed to be really good.
I haven't seen it,
really,
but
really good.
I think I almost clicked on it one day.
Dude, that's what you got.
Okay.
I am highly, highly confident that I am going to convert you on this and that you're going to love it.
Sweet.
Sweet diddly do.
Is that because
I'm gonna look
black?
Yeah, no, I know.
Trying to figure out what the hell, Michael.
Nick is now showing me
Todd,
a GIF of Rocky Horror Picture
That
Show.
Mike sent.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm like,
Todd, you can disregard anything Michael J says. That's just
That's why it's weird.
Let
That
that-
was weird
let
in the
that be.
movie.
It was, but I
It
mean,
was strange. It was very strange.
it's a very strange movie. You just have to know that going into it.
I did not know that.
All right, Cory, why don't we close it out with a little pick of the week?
oh sure.
Unless someone else would like to go first, I can kick it off.
Have
Go
at
ahead. Yeah, you haven't started first.
Have at it. All right, so there's a website out there. I got pulled into a tangent this week by a news story about a breach, an Equifax breach. Actually, it wasn't Equifax. It was another couple of websites with Todd. I'm sure you know, millions of accounts breached, email and passwords hacked.
Yep.
So I was doing a little reading and I came across this website called Have I Been PWN'd? I don't know how you
I've been
pronounce it.
pwned.
Pwned? Is that it? Okay. So if you're searching for it, it's Have I Been PWNED.com. And essentially you can type in your email address and it will tell you if there are any major websites with that email address that were exposed in recent public hacks or breaches. So if you're concerned, if it's something that you want to know, everybody's got tons of accounts from sites you shop at, sites that you visit, sites that you had to make a free account on just to get free shipping on something that you bought, whatever. And if you aren't real good with switching up your passwords, that's a good site to start at. There's a lot of other ones out there like that too, but when you hear that there's been a major breach and there have been accounts that have been exposed, it's always a good idea to review your accounts, review your security methods, make sure you're not using the same password for everything that you do, and change it with some kind of frequency. So that's my pick of the week.
Love it.
Todd,
Yep.
got anything to pick?
I got a pick of the week.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Dearborn Sausage Company's.
No. You did Dearborn Sausage Company last week.
I had it again this week. And I was loving it.
So, I heard as soon as you're like deer, I'm like, nope.
Dearborn, damn it.
Nope.
Damn it. But I was going to name a different one.
No. This week it's the bratwurst, not the
It's all
kielbasa.
the sausage.
Exactly. It's the sauce. It's the smoked sausages.
This week I had the ham.
All right.
I bought
Good.
the Kogel Viennas.
Oh, you got the Viennas?
I got the Viennas from Dearborn Sausage Company.
No way. I know you bought Dearborn sausage from my top friend Todd the other day.
I love the honey glazed ham.
Damn it.
I'm just still trying to figure out where the fuck this little thing you guys do, where it ever came from. I don't.
Where it came from?
That's the Fonz, man.
Yeah.
Came from the
then I'm going with the
Arthur
Detroit
Fonzarelli.
Sausage Company.
Oh,
the Detroit
that's
Sausage
crazy because
Company.
neither of you guys sound like the Fonz. So
That's the great part about it.
yeah. So Todd,
Detroit Sausage Company.
your pick.
Todd is like furiously trying to come up with something else. Hey, let's pivot over to Danielle. Danielle.
I have something. I
Let's hear
don't
it.
know the exact name of the company.
It's pronounced Dearborn
Dearborn?
sausage.
Yeah. It's actually
Kowalski.
I think it's Slihim Jahim. I'm not sure how to pronounce it really, but they're great.
Slahim.
I've got a packet like you would get at the gas station.
it's actually from Costco,
Shocker.
but they have everything bagel chips. They're just like the small, like for dipping. If you like anything with all of the everything bagels, he was not on board with when I bought them. He takes a handful.
I
of
love
them
how
the
she
other
starts
day.
to give her pick, and she immediately is like, "This fucking asshole
This son
doesn't
of a
like it
bitch.
at all."
No.
but I love it, and that's
Well,
my pick.
he like gave me crap about it, and he grabbed a handful of them the other night and goes, "These actually are pretty good." I was like, "Get out of them."
Was
then.
he drunk?
No,
Because
Are you sure?
I don't think so.
Because that dip that you have, Cory would rather take like whole everything bagels and just dip those into that dip as opposed to a very small chip.
But they're really good.
They're very good.
See?
And I, to be honest with you, I don't even remember giving you shit about them in the first place. It's just I give you shit about everything.
That's
so.
also true. But I don't know the brand name, but they're from Costco.
Okay, they're not Costco brand.
No.
Kirkland.
Kirkland's best.
Nope, they're not Kirkland either.
That would
Wow.
make them Costco brand.
Okay,
They're just like in a small plastic tub. I wish I remembered what the name of the company was, but
It's probably You're My Everything by Kirkland's Best.
they weren't Kirkland.
Oh, okay.
We can get you a name for next cast.
Yeah.
well, there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of people now flooding Costco asking
Well,
for those.
we
everything
have to
bagel
go to
chips.
Costco tomorrow, and I'm really hoping they have them still, because that's the worst part with Costco is there once and then sometimes it disappears.
Yeah, they get rid of good stuff all
They
the time.
really do. Every time they have something good, it disappears.
Yeah.
So I've learned if I think it looks like it's something I would like, I just buy it then because it may not be there the next time we
Sons
go.
of bitches.
You'd think they wouldn't do that, given that you're paying to shop there.
Right? I know.
Yeah, but the thing is, here's the funny thing: they hit on so many different things. They have to build bigger stores, and so
They really do.
because I've asked that question. There's tons of things that I've like gone there. I'm like, oh, I can't wait because they're the only ones who have this, and then all of a sudden it's gone. But you find something 2 aisles over that you got to have. So they unfortunately they got to rotate that stuff out.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too. There's other things like I found that they'll have it disappears for a couple of months, and all of a sudden it's back again. So
Yep.
you just have to keep looking.
They want to create a buzz.
Absolutely.
All
Gotta
Cory,
love Costco.
Corey, what do you got?
Yes.
I'm going to have to go with the new flip flops for the summer.
Oh God.
Is
My
that the brand name?
Yes.
Gumby's flip flops.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Do they still make titties? Those are the best flip flops.
I'm sorry.
Did you say titties, Todd?
I said titties.
Okay. Yeah, I know they didn't have those in stock apparently, because I definitely would have
They
picked
make
about
flip-flops.
5 pairs of those up.
Okay. So getting ready for the summer, you're like new fucking brand of flip flops. That's what I'm.
They kept on showing up on Instagram, on Facebook, just about everywhere.
And you're like,
They know how to get Cory. They put it on any kind of social media he's on all the time.
Yep.
And just constantly show ads for it.
And
Okay.
they also make a
you know, after you do that, if you buy them, they don't go away. It's not like the ads disappear. They're still
No,
gonna,
they put more.
yeah.
Oh yeah, they definitely went hard on me on the Gumby's flip flops. But the one selling point was they make so that I bought the Islander pair. That's a canvas. They're minimalist flip flops. They got almost like a tire tread on the bottom.
By minimalist, it's like this thin.
But they are insanely comfortable, and they mold to your feet very, very quickly. But the duckbill.
I don't know what they're called. I know you bought
There's
two pairs.
The Islander and the duckbill. And the duckbill, the second I opened it up and I read the description and it says it makes you like a platypus in the water, I was like, I'm sold.
Are they made for long walks to the porch to pick up Amazon packages?
That and being in the water. Well, that's what the Islander ones are.
He has his
The
on
Amazonian.
the land pair, and then he has his water pair.
I have
that make him like a platypus.
Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry.
I have my dry land pair.
Land pair.
I have my dry land pair and my on the water pair.
His platypus pair.
Cory,
Do you switch them as you get out of the water or go into the water?
I might this summer. Yeah.
see,
Have
you
you
guys,
worn the other ones yet?
No,
I
because
think
I haven't
so.
been on the
Yeah.
water yet.
you
I
gu-
was just checking.
you guys wouldn't know it for face value. Cory's actually very graceful in the water. He's like a manatee,
It's like a platypus.
Yeah, platypus is what I heard.
more of a manatee.
Go fuck yourself.
Okay. All right.
A sea cow is what they say.
Yeah.
That sounds very complimentary.
So Gumby's flip flops.
All right.
I put a competing ad in the chat.
I see that.
Nice.
My titties.
He doesn't need any more shoes, Todd.
The less common D spelling.
Have you? Did we,
I've not gone.
And I
I'm
explicitly said titties.
yeah. So
What the hell kind of?
all right, Nick.
good, they're all looking at titties right now.
Yeah.
Those are the biggest fucking flip flops I've ever seen.
I mean, you got to live up to a name like My Titties.
I mean, I guess that does make sense.
All right. As an audio podcast, we need to continue going here. Nick, what's your pick?
So my pick is it's a company called Ronx, Ronxs. A little difficult. Write it down. Ronxs. The Ronx store. So basically, Ronx makes all kinds of lighters, but specifically they make a candle lighter. So think of the click 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 Bic candle lighter that you would buy at the gas station. So now the neck of it is made of like articulating metal, so it can bend in any direction. But the caveat on this is that it's all electric. The whole thing can be charged by micro USB, and it's got an arc at the end when you hit the button, and it's like a purple arc of electricity. You just put it down on any candle, whatever you want to light, and it still blows me away. It lights instantly, and you never have to fill it up. You never have to buy anything else, and it's perfect if you're lighting incense, candles, cigarettes, whatever you want to light, and it lasts for several days if you're using it a lot, and just plug it back in.
So if I had a book of matches and Cory fell asleep at the cabin in Oscoda and I wanted to take a match and put it between his toes in his new flip-flops, could I light it with that?
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Yeah, if like the flint, you ran out of the strike pad, yeah, you could absolutely do that.
Sold.
How many lighters do you have? Do you guys just both got new lighters?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just clarifying. Clarifying question.
I thought that was copyrighted Todd Dillon 2021.
From the man who has 3 different incense burners.
Yeah, you just gave a pick about buying
packets
2 different pairs of sandals, one
behind
for
him.
dry land and one for in the water.
He just bought titties right now, just while we were sitting
Yeah,
here.
I'm sure he did.
No, I'm sorry, Todd. The aesthetic of those is not my bag.
They don't leap out of the box.
If you want
and
comfort, and if you have
50 a
kids,
foot.
they got itty bitty titties.
Todd,
Okay, Todd,
all right,
this is a
Todd,
podcast where we don't talk about children's
Todd,
titties.
what's your pick here, buddy? What's your pick, buddy?
Oh, man, you're coming back to me.
Yeah.
All right, Allen Park
the camera
sausage.
like zoomed in. I know it's like, whose sausage is it going to be?
Most likely mine.
I think that's the Frightened Turtle Sausage Company.
Wow.
I'm going to have to pass this week, Bob. I don't have a high quality pick this week.
Todd, I even zoomed you in and everything.
I'll give
Jesus
you.
Christ.
I know.
I'll give you a hand, Todd, and I'm gonna because I don't think that I don't. Todd,
Yes.
when you go out to build a fire in the backyard, what are you building it in?
Oh, well, I thought I did solo stoves before.
Did you?
Yeah.
I thought I did.
Did he really?
But
Hey, Todd,
yeah,
you know what you haven't done?
what's that?
One of your grills that you have that are fantastic.
I did do the big green
He didn't
egg.
do the big green.
Son
Yeah.
of a bitch.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. You guys ripped on me for doing outerwear. I did like Columbia and all my like wet weather gear, and then I went into my cooking gear. Actually, did I do Ninja Foodie?
Yeah, I think you did
So
actually.
there you go. So exactly, titties. It is.
How about a how about a new, perhaps a new libation that you purchased?
A new libation that I purchased. I'm still Well,
Southern
hang
Comfort
on.
is not new.
No. So I don't know if you can get it in Michigan or parts where some of the other listeners are, but if you can get beers from Rogue Brewing, all their beers are really good. But my go-to Rogue Brewing beer is one called Bat Squatch. It is a hazy IPA.
Called what?
That is
Sorry.
amazing. It's called Bat Squatch. BATSQUATCH.
Like if Batman and Sasquatch had a child.
Batman and Sasquatch.
See, that's all he had to say.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
it was,
It
figured
was
I'd
super easy.
help you out a little bit.
And they do sell Rogue here.
Yeah.
Do they?
All their beers are good. This hazy IPA is tops in my book.
I'm a big hazy IPA guy, so I'm gonna have to try it out.
As a matter of fact, I believe
If you
they have
can't get it, I'll send it to you, Nick. Let me know.
I can't get it.
I'll send you one warm dented
One
can.
warm ass
Well,
can.
thanks, buddy.
It's gonna come in like a Tupperware container
Exactly.
with like a label on the top, which is a piece of masking tape.
Right after I drink
It
it, he's
says
gonna send me
Rogue.
a photo.
Todd Dillon
He's gonna send me a photo
with a
of
date.
his Rottweiler licking the top of it, like
Or
earlier
licking.
that week.
I have him sitting on the top of it. It had a little beefy flavor to it.
Funny how that beer tastes like dog piss, huh?
Kind of nutty.
Kind of funny. Oh my god.
Thanks for yanking that out of me.
You're welcome, buddy.
Easy, Todd. Easy.
And on that note, that is it
I
for
was so
episode
geared up for
120. No more of you and your yanking. All right, for Schnozzcast, this is Bob saying good night. Signing off for Nick, for Cory, Danielle, and Todd. Please join us next weekend for episode 121. Have a good night.